Now, people, it's The Dark Knight, and the opening scene is pretty fucking amazing. It's a really, really great way to introduce a character, the Joker. The whole spiel with, first of all, when it stands there, also it's just saying to you, like, this is not Batman Begins, this is not piss-colored, this is the Heat, that film. Jumps in the car and everything, and also the like thing he said to these bank robbers, like, you should kill that person, or that person should kill that whole thing is very Jokery. And also the mask Joker is wearing, pretty fucking iconic if you ask me, but that is from an episode of Batman, the old 60s Batman, I think, where Cesar Romero as Joker wears this mask. I think it's a reference to that. Now that's the way you do a homage. This is great. All right, what do you believe in? Criminals before used to believe in honor, respect. What do you believe in, huh? What do you believe in? And I believe whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger, but now stranger. But again, that's the Christopher Nolan thing too. Would he have said that as a mob guy working at a bank? But it's not that apparent here. It's not that annoying, I'll give it a pass. Okay, there's this Christopher Nolan dialogue. It's pity there's only one of you, and then there shows up another, right? You remember when all these posters shows up? This is exactly what I mean. Why would he say pity there's only one of you at that time? That it's very convenient because there are more than one. That's the quintessential Christopher Nolan problem. If I used quintessential right, I hope so, whatever. But that is exactly what I'm talking about. So the movie isn't perfect, all right? Maggie Gyllenhaal is vastly better than, what's her face, Katie Holmes? Yeah, Katie Holmes was a girl and not an interesting character. This one, she's more interesting, and she's played by a better actress. And she's introduced with the new character, Harvey Dent, played by Aaron Eckhart. Of course, Heath Ledger his performance is iconic. There's no doubt about that. But Aaron Eckhart is pretty fucking, he does a real great job. Great introduction of a character. Or both characters, Rachel Dawes, and Rachel Dawes' character makes more sense here. She's involved with Harvey Dent, and that has a purpose with him being scarred and fucked up and everything, So much better than the Batman Begins. Well, I didn't like that film. I didn't mention this in Batman Begins, the review. I don't like the cinematography in that one. Well, I mentioned the brown pissy color tint from Gotham, but also when he's in Tibet or whatever, when he is with the League of Shadows, I think the highlights, the white light is a bit too white. And it kind of is here, Yeah, it is, but the city is so much more open. There isn't... I felt like this has more than just highlights, and it's so open and fresh in the room, like the big windows and everything happen in the background. And I'll show you how much of a fan of this film I am. Yep. Yeah. So I hate Christopher. I don't hate Christopher Nolan. I think it's overrated, but this film I love. Aaron Eckhart and everyone. I actually was a defender of Dark Knight Rises for the longest time, and I think it's a good film. Again, I don't care about plot holes. So people complaining about plot holes in that, I don't care. I actually root for Batman in that one. Bruce Wayne, I'm like, yeah, it's Rocky 3, But as a Batman film, no. It's like this one, The Dark Knight, ends with like, yes, this is... Joker says to Batman, we're gonna do this forever. I was like, yeah, the setting up. What's the next villain? Riddler? You can see Christian Bale play this Batman for 6-7 movies, right? And then Christopher Nolan and his narcissism, he's like, I'm gonna end this my way. No way anyone else is gonna take over this franchise and do something interesting with it. I have just read The Tale of Two Cities, so I'm gonna do that.
You either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
It's a good scene. It's a good scene, but like as I said in the Batman Begins, like it's the Christopher Nolan loves those iconic lines, and you have the setups. You have to, it's not always organic, the dialogue. Christian Bale's Batman I like more in the Batman Begins. And this one, but I think I read somewhere that Christian Bale had a cold in this, and Batman sounds ridiculous sometimes. And he gets too much dialogue, it becomes silly. But him as Bruce Wayne and as the persona Bruce Wayne, great. I think it's great. And I would love to see that. I hope we'll see that more in Batman Part 2 with Robert Pattinson. It's really hot in Norway right now. Really fucking hot. And we don't have air conditions everywhere for some reason. I don't know why. It's probably because the weather is all like that. But whew. Mark Wahlberg really had two introductions as the Joker. It's in the beginning with the bank thing, and now with Chow or whatever his face is, when he walks into the room with all the mob people, with Eric Roberts and people. Ha 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 ha. Ta-da! You want to see a magic trick? That was a great Joker, right? How many characters has had two introductions in one film, where both of them are iconic? I love this film. I love it. I should talk some about the marketing in this. I remember this. I remember IMDb, and IMDb had a forum, and The Dark Knight, the Batman Begins, I was a big fan, not anymore. And then came The Prestige, I think, which is last I saw it. It's a long time ago. I really enjoyed it. I think that's a good movie. I hope I still do. Then there was talk about a sequel, and then there was talk of a Joker, and blah, blah, blah. And I had a friend. We talked about Batman and shit like that all the time. And we were very much like, oh, Christopher Nolan wants to do it realistic. I heard he's going to have the Joker in it. Yeah, and I heard the Joker's going to be super realistic. Yeah, he's not going to have a white skin anymore, blah, blah. We were bitching about it. And we got right. You were on, when it was introduced that, first of all, it was Mr. Handsome, Heath Ledger, God bless him, and introduced to that. Oh, no, it's not permanent white, it's makeup, and he has scars here, and I remember Warner Brothers and Christopher Nolan, whatever, had some like playthings for nerds, like if you solve this and this and go this and this in Chicago or whatever, and do this and whatever, we will unlock some around. Like there was like a black screen, and when people did whatever, one little frame like was shown. It was like a puzzle, and each time nerds found out shit, another was revealed. And that first picture that was revealed was the Joker there. Wait, that fucking picture that was revealed. Me and my friend was like, what the fuck is this? Then some more nerd shit happened like months later, maybe half a year, and it was like the first teaser and everything, and nerds had to do some shit again, and the payoff for whatever the nerds had to do was a little teaser, and the teaser was Michael Caine, Alfred. You can Google it, YouTube it. Some men are looking for something to destroy. He's talking about the diamond in Burma, and some men just want to watch the oil burn. It's like Michael Caine saying that. No video, no nothing, just audio with the logo of Batman, and then you hear Joker. Does he say why so serious or something? I don't remember what he's saying. This is Heath Ledger as Joker, but you hear his laugh. I was like, okay, now I'm intrigued. When the first trailer dropped, I was like, okay, they're onto something. And then he died in January 2008. And people like, blah, 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 that happened. And when Michael Caine and Gary Oldman was interviewed doing other shitty films, they all talked about Heath Ledger and everything. And they talked about how great Heath Ledger was and whatever. And, of course they would say that. But it felt real. It felt like actually Michael Caine thought that was a great fucking performance. The same with Gary Oldman. And we were so fucking excited, man. Michael Caine talked about I think that's his only scene with the Joker in the penthouse. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And Michael Caine said that he actually got scared when you see him jumping in the film. That's real. That was apparently the first time he saw Heath Ledger. Anyway, I just like now GTA 6 is a thing. I'm really hyped. I'm like, oh, whoa. Reminds me of the good old days with The Dark Knight. And gosh darn it, I miss those days because The Dark Knight, I was so fucking. And when the soundtrack dropped, I listened to it like all the time. I was so hyped. The movie even has a good jump scare. When, Gordon, whatever fuck, talks to, what is it? What happened? Whoever talks to the mayor. The mayor looks out, played by the guy who's solid in everything he's in, but he's a guy, and he has a name, and I don't care. Looks through the window, and there's, like, one of those copycats. The Joker fucked up. It has a good fucking jump scare, man. Also, I can't stop playing with these.
Batman? No! And why do you dress up like him? Yeah, you do, Brian. You really do. You see, this is how crazy Batman's made Gotham. You want order in Gotham, and every day he doesn't, people will die. Starting tonight.
I mean, in that clip alone, you know, how Heath Ledger is wow. I mean, look at me. He becomes a demon in a split second like that, and then he becomes again. And the way we know the only reference we had, or at least I had, was Jack Nicholson as Joker, which still is great, by the way. I saw Batman '89 not that long ago, and I was like, "This is great. I want that Joker back." Anyway, what Heath Ledger brought to the table was, yeah, iconic. I know it's a shitty word actually, but just by that performance alone in that one is like he goes, and you can understand like, and you don't know his background. It's just a chaotic, like almost a demon, and I love that. Just a little detail I love is Bruce Wayne in the penthouse. Harvey Dent is there. Everybody's there, right? He comes down with a helicopter and with 2 models, and he's cocky and whatever. He does his spiel, and then he stands. There's a scene where he stands at the balcony, looking over the city. And Rachel Dawes comes out. But he has this drink of champagne, I guess. But he just throws it out. Because I love that detail. Because it is just a performance. Him having the glass in his hand, just a performance. He's all about discipline and, you know, I love that. All right, so Mr. Batman doing the fingerprints of a bullet that's fucked up. Doesn't match the whole other realistic aspect of it. There's one fucking thing I forgot. I remember. Yeah, this is. I'm not gonna edit this out. Oh, there's a scene with Morgan Freeman as Lucius Fox and the guy that everybody thought was gonna be the Riddler, because he has his name kind of has Edward Nygma in it. It's the guy that, you know, like, if the accountant guy, he figures out that Bruce Wayne is Batman, and he's gonna, you know, fucking blackmail Lucius Fox, and that storyline, it pays off though. A lot of storylines in Batman Begins that was sucky. Rutger Hauer's storyline, Again, Lucius Fox, we kind of give him a thing in this one where he is like, the theme is, what do you do when it's terrorism. You know, America in the Bush era was like, we don't negotiate with terrorists, and that is the whole theme of the film. Again, it's not vague, but it's more, the ideas in Batman Begins were so, I get it. is like that. That was watching Batman Begins. This is dare I say, more intellectual. There's ideas, anarchy versus order. How far would you go to stop terrorism? Should you go into their demands? What does that mean? Things like that. That is much more interesting and fair. You know? Oh yeah. What do you do with fair? Oh, you use it to your advantage. Oh, okay. The funeral of Commissioner Loeb is, very reminiscent of Harrison Ford's fucking Fugitive, where the St. Patrick's Day, this parade and everything. Also in Chicago. Yes, I'm a nerd. I read stuff, so I know how Chicago looks like. And you have those bridges, Chicago bridges that, I'm from Norway, and I look at those bridges and like, oh fuck, that's Chicago, man. Anyway, the point was that is great. The parade and everything. It makes and also the sound design. It makes everything seem so lived in. It feels like a city. It's very apparent that Christopher Nolan is inspired by Heat. Heat is masterpiece, and this. I wouldn't say masterpiece, but it's close. It's close. I can say this. This, compared to the previous one, this is the best sequel ever. You have, Empire Strikes Back or The Godfather Part 2. A New Hope is a really good film, and Godfather is a really good film. Just the sequels are better. Batman Begins is a boring film. And this is close to a masterpiece. Close. Not completely there, but There's an aspect to this film that is kind of sad. Well, not this film, but this film. I talked a little bit about it previous, and this film promises so much more, right? With the Joker and everything. Okay, so it ends with the Batman, like, oh, now he's hunted by the cops. And I remember at the time, I was like, how are he going to work with the cops again? How is this going to, be solved and everything? How, this is interesting. But no, he hasn't been Batman for 8 years because of Rachel. The real Batman that's kind of sort of what I was promised with the ending of The Dark Knight was he's going to fucking do his thing. He's going to be Batman forever. Even though the cops are hunting him, he's gonna be fucking Batman, That's the whole speech at the end, But thinking about the next film, like, oh no, wasn't Batman for 8 years, and he cried about it. Like, the Batman, Matt Reeves, the ending is so great. He talks to Catwoman, and it's like, she talks about going to Blue Haven, and he is like, and she is like, he looks at her, and then his eyes go like up, and he looks at the sky, and it's a bad signal. There's a sadness there that is, he is taken. He can't have a normal life because he's fucking Batman. He's gonna battle this forever, which this film talks about. Oh, the next one he just gives up. So this film promises so much more, and the next film just whatever, fuck it. Hans Zimmer music in this one is so much better too. You have the Joker, the one note. I think I'm not a musician. I suck at music, but I think it's a one like is that called? Whatever. And the Batman theme is so much more complex and interesting. The Dark Knight theme is really good. And I know James Newton Howard was involved in this, but I feel that I liked him as a composer, but in Batman Begins, it was kind of a bit too melodramatic, or I didn't like it. Because he did the Bruce Wayne part, and Hans Zimmer did the Batman, right? It works better here, James Newton Howard. I think it's because in Batman Begins you have a lot of like scenes where he was young, and I didn't like that over explanation. I don't care about. For me, the mystery behind Batman is much more interesting. Like, you know that was a catalyst, and that's why he became Batman. But knowing every single fucking detail of why he did what he did, or what, I don't find it interesting. And I think stuff like James Newton Howard making the music for Bruce Wayne being a kid or whatever, or his parents. What do you do? It's like, oh, they're the perfect rich parents, and he has. Bruce Wayne is a small kid, and they have everything, and so yeah, that's not interesting. And I feel that's how do you make interesting music to that? So Hans Zimmer having the opportunity to make much more complex and interesting music to Batman, and James Newton Howard just making music for what the boring. Fuck Batman Begins. This is much better. Harvey Dent's theme is great. I love this scene. This is the scene with with Harvey Dent and the guy who plays in all Denis Villeneuve films. The actor that nobody knows the name of, but his face is weird and he's really good. Well, it's the guy who helped Joker in the killing of Gordon. I love this scene. And Aaron Eckhart gets to show some muscles, you know. A little complaint is Aaron Eckhart is so great in this scene, and he shows that there's something more about Harvey Dent. He shows that, like, when you see him as Two-Face, he screams, "Ah!" I don't like nowhere, and he does that in that scene. I would love to see a couple of more scenes of him being unhinged before getting to Two-Face, because I feel it's just a couple, like 2 scenes more, and his transformation would work more. Because I'm just a little bit short of thinking like it's not Anakin in Rise of Skywalker. Like, okay, guess I'm Darkseid now, so I kill some kids. It's not like that. It's more understandable, or much better than fucking George Lucas, of course. But I would a little bit more, you know, before he puts the hand on fucking James Gordon's kid. Like, okay, fuck it, I'm gonna kill him. Because they established the character so well that a couple of more scenes, you know. Try to keep this as short as I can, but I love this film. They also have established that Bruce Wayne looks at Harvey Dent as the White Knight, and he is the Dark Knight, and that Harvey Dent is his ticket, Bruce Wayne's ticket out of this, because he just wanted to be this figure, be this Batman for a while, just to, you know, be an example, like in Batman Begins, shake them out of apathy. So they never established in Batman Begins that he wanted to do this forever. That is what they established in this film. That, okay, he believes that Harvey Dent is the key out, but, you know, the Joker fucks that up. Like, and Batman realizes that he has to be this figure for as long as he can. But then Dark Knight Rises shows up and fucks that up completely. Harvey Dent saying that he is the Batman is a very Harvey Dent thing to do. Well, in this film, how he is established. I love the, you know, the conflict that Batman has, well, Bruce Wayne has, and Alfred talking to him about it. These are ideas, you know, which Batman Begins had none of. I am the Batman. The dawn is coming. Yeah, I love Aaron Eckhart in this. He's great. I'm watching this in 4K, by the way. 4K. 4K Blu-ray on my PlayStation and on an OLED TV, and it looks fucking great, especially the IMAX shots. It looks really fucking good, man. Laughter is the best medicine. Slaughter is the best medicine. It's that scene, and it's great. No music, nothing. It's fantastic. You know what? this scene with, you know, the Batmobile and the slaughter is the best medicine, and Harvey Dent in the fucking band, the thing, and Batman having like this bat paw. There's no music, and Christopher Nolan would never do that now. Why? Because in this sequence, Christopher Nolan lets things breathe. He will never, ever do anything like this now without music, because he has to have fucking music like this all the time, or cut like this all the time. That's how he does it. That's why this sequence works so well, because he lets the rhythm of the film do its part, right? It has a rhythm, it has a flow. It's not like Oppenheimer in your fucking face all the time. Woo-hoo, that's how you make a fucking... Wow. It's no... I want you to do it. I want you to do it. Come on, hit me. That is fucking iconic. And it's like Star Wars, you know, you watch not the prequels, the real Star Wars, the first Star Wars, then Empire. It's kind of difficult to look at it as a movie because it's so iconic now. It's the same thing with this one, right? When Batman just, with the bat punch, just drives towards him, and Joker's like, I want you to do it. I want you to do it. Like, I want you to break your one rule. Just doesn't matter if I die. It's so fucking awesome. It's like Star Wars, the first Star Wars, A New Hope, before the George Lucas did the things with the things. So the first Star Wars built up Jabba the Hutt, right? And at that point, nobody knew who Jabba the Hutt was. You know, in the new editions of the film, you see Jabba the Hutt in a deleted scene at the time. But when the film came out, nobody knew who. They talked about Jabba the Hutt, but nobody has seen Jabba the Hutt. So in Return of the Jedi, when Jabba the Hutt shows up, it's like, fuck, he's a giant worm? What the hell, man? And you gotta, when you watch Star Wars, you gotta go into that headspace, you know? And that's the same about this one. When actually Batman, the interrogation scene with Batman and the Joker is famous, you know, iconic. So it's, sometimes you just gotta try to think like, this is the first time Batman and the Joker talks to each other. First time in the film. But when I'm watching this, I kind of forget it because it's so iconic. You understand what I'm saying? So sometimes as a movie lover, I'm a movie lover, and sometimes you just gotta go into that headspace, you know? Like you're seeing it for the first time. So shock. The cop in that thing was Gordon. And when Gordon brings Joker in, the mayor says, tomorrow you take the big job. You don't have any say in the matter. Commissioner Gordon. And him saying Commissioner Gordon, I like it. It sounds good. What the fuck do you want me to say? That interrogation scene is iconic. It is fucking great. It's like they haven't established beforehand chaos versus order, and now chaos meets order. Batman and Joker have a conversation. That is the most interesting thing about the film, and Joker has the upper hand. Like, Batman doesn't kill, but he has to, sort of, kind of, because he has to choose between two lives. Joker giving Batman the wrong address, so Batman goes to Harvey Dent instead of Rachel. Great. And Joker doing all this to get to Lao, and you have the scene where he threw out at the car, fucking police car. I mean, what do you want me to say? It's fantastic. So here's a scene I have a little bit of a problem with, and that is, well, first of all, Alfred reads the letter that Rachel wrote to Bruce Wayne, and that is it. And he is gonna give Bruce Wayne some beverage or whatever, with the letter, and he chooses not to give him the letter because Bruce Wayne is fucking crying and talking about his feelings. That is a really healthy way to deal with your problems. But that is not how Batman does it. That is why the Batman is so great. Because, or Batman in general. Batman, the whole point with Batman, Bruce Wayne, is a man who doesn't know how to deal with his feelings. He doesn't cry. Batman, in my book, at least, never fucking cries. Not because it's a weakness, but because he sees it as a weakness. He doesn't, he can't do that. That's why he trains and becomes this peak human being, because he sees that as a weakness, and he becomes this like Übermensch, right? Nietzsche, and and it's because he doesn't fucking deal with his problems. So that's the problem for me with that scene. This is him dealing with his problems. No. Batman is fucked up. Who the fuck dresses up like a bat, you know? Again, Matt Reeves has talked about that many times, like, you know, Batman, Bruce Wayne is a crazy person. He dresses up like a bat. That is why Matt Reeves really understands Batman. And Christopher Nolan really understands Batman in The Dark Knight. But not in Begins. Well, you can argue in Begins, but it's so bad. Dark Knight Rises, no. Like, Batman would never quit, like, in the age of fucking what? It's so sad, you know, because in The Dark Knight Rises, it's probably my age now, you know, and so fuck. I would never quit being Batman, you know. Try it! So this is PG-13, but yeah. So it's the scene with all the money. Joker has all the money in the world, and you see, if you blink, you don't see it, but it's Lao is on top. And Joker writes down all the money, and he talks to, "What's my money?" That guy, the dog guy, or whatever, fuck it. And then Joker starts burning the money, and well, we can just imagine what happens to Lao. It's like Batman Begins. How many times do I have to say that it sucks? And how many times do I have to say that this is fucking awesome? But I love when Harvey Dent asks Two-Face now, Joker is a nurse, right? The whole hospital thing. Right now! He shouts it. And he does that a couple of times later on, too. It's like this inner anger that's bursting out. Think about Batman Begins, the third act. It was very much first act, second act, third act. Very Iron Man, and I like Iron Man 3 more than 1 and 2, I'll say that. Because it tried something different. Iron Man 1 is fucking boring. So, no, that's not true. Not as boring as Batman Begins, no. But it's very much first act, second act, third act. The Dark Knight is ambitious. You know, a film that is ambitious and it swings real hard and it fucks up. Films like that I always have respect for. And this film does that. It really is ambitious and it really swings and it fucking does it. Baseball analogy. I don't know baseball. I'm from Norway and I don't care about sports. But anyway, think of a baseball analogy that where, you know, you just swing a big swing and you hit the ball. And someone, Babe Ruth, Babe Ruth hits the ball and does something. Yes. When Joker destroys the hospital and he walks off and everything blows up and he does that. That was, you know, ad-libbed. It was improvisational because yeah. Anyway, but that is really great practical. It's awesome. It's awesome. It's fucking awesome. So okay, so Joker, completely chaos, and we have the boat thing. People are saying that the boat thing, the boat aspect of it, you have the prisoners in one boat, and you have normal people in the other, and they have like, if one of your the boats doesn't blow each other up in like 20 minutes, whatever, both of them won't blow up. Yeah, that wouldn't happen. You know, that's not how mankind works. And that intervened with the Batman fighting Joker. For me, that I can see that, and then I kind of feel that myself. Especially when you have the scene later on, like it feels like the third act is over and you're done with the film, right? But then you have the real third act, which is Harvey Dent, Two-Face now, threatening Gordon's family and Batman. And then the idealism, philosophical views, whatever shows up, you know. Harvey Dent as being a prosecutor and believing in the judicial system. Now, by the coin, he believes in the randomness of life and fate, and Gordon feeling the guilt of what happened to Harvey Dent. Also, you know, Batman reaching out to Harvey Dent, like we both felt the absence of Rachel, but I can't say that I'm Bruce Wayne. So a lot of shit is happening, and it's great. I love Aaron Eckhart's performance in this. It's about what's fair. We thought we could be decent people in an undecent time. I love that performance. I love the score. It's so complex and interesting, and it flows really well into the last score, the Dark Knight score. So, you know, that's it. Okay, bye.